Live from Gary O'Neill Studios in Baltimore.
You're listening to the See.Plan.Do show with Gary O'Neill.
All right, here you go. DJ.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy Pod Day! Yeah! Ow! What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy Pod Day, ladies and gents. I am back. Hopefully, you had an amazing day. But let me introduce myself before I get started. All right? Without further ado, my name is Gary O'Neill Jr. I'm your favorite life coach, professional life coach, business coach, mindset coach, as well as consultant, big brother, big cousin, and uncle, I guess. All right. So thank you coming out for this live special edition of the See.Plan.Do show. So again, Gary O'Neill Jr. here. Shout out to Pops. Dang, I feel a little rusty for real. Shout out to Pops. And if you see me out in the streets, if you see me working out, if you see me getting a variety of assortment of ice cream, treats, snacks, no, they're not for me. All right, but mind your business, okay? All right, and so we have an amazing show lined up today. If you are in the building, you can just type in the chat and just say, hey. All right. Again, I'm doing this live. Normally I record them. And I said, you know what? I have not done any episodes in a while. We'll talk about that. And so I just wanted to say, hey. All right. So episode 138 entitled Peaks and Valleys. All right. And so in this episode, we're going to talk about how you can deal with the ups and downs of life. I'm going to also talk about reactions to the Tyson Paul fight, final reactions, because we're not talking about it anymore. All right. As well as my Ravens and topics that you may want to discuss. So if you have any topics that you want to go over, guess what? You can let me know. All right. So can I get to my shout outs as always? Wow, this is really amazing. I have not done this in a minute. All right. Let's get to our shout outs. My day one, A1, mi corazón, mi familia. All right. My day one, A1 listeners, new and returning guests, my candy corn crew as always. And anybody that's watching this live, you could have been anywhere in the world. You could have been doing anything, but you are here with me, and I greatly appreciate that. All right. And so I just want to make sure, hey, man, I'm really having fun out here today. I really was like, oh, man, wow, let's get to it. All right. So I wanted to make sure, we're all checked in. I see everything. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. Again, I was like, wow, I haven't done this in a minute. I was like, oh, look at that. I wanted to make sure that I had everything lined up for you guys. And again, this has been a minute. So before I even get started, I do want to dedicate this episode to my grandmother, Margaret Crowell. She passed recently. And so I just wanted to go ahead and make this episode for her. She was an absolutely amazing person in my life, in my family's life, and she will greatly be missed. But her lessons, her humor, her wit, everything about her will stay close and near and dear to my heart. All right, so let's get to the episode. All right, so and I'm rolling right along here, and I was like, man, first you might have said, well, where the hell have you been, Gary? And I'm gonna be honest, I've been here, there, everywhere, right? And so, started school on road to be a therapist for you guys. So wanted to make sure I did that. And I'm in school now for that, as well as just the ups and downs, the day ins and days out of life. You sort of want to take a time, redirect, refocus. But guess what? I done seen all of the podcasts out here. I was like, man, they really miss me out here. People asking me, when you going to start the podcast back up? And you know what? Yes, I'm going to start it up now. All right. So again, my day 1A1 listeners, new and returning, my candy corn crew, you already know. And anybody else who is taking this time to check it out live. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. And so if you're here, you're in the chat, you can type in and say hello. All right. I'll check it out. I'll see it. All right. And we'll go from there. All right. So let's get to our first, and it's been a while, our first ever See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored by, you know the best, Heart Savers Maryland. So if you're looking for CPR training, please check it out. So right after a brief word from our sponsor, we'll get right to it.
Are you looking to get certified in CPR, first aid, or other life-saving skills? Heart Savers Maryland is your premier CPR training facility. Individual and classroom sessions available. Schedule your training at heartsaversmd.com. Each second counts. Get trained today.
All right, and your See.Plan.Do moment of the week is entitled I Understand. And so there is a he's an athlete. He's an Instagram athlete. Well, not Instagram athlete. He's a shooting coach, world-class shooting coach. And his name is Chris Matthews, aka Lethal Shooter. Now, if you've ever checked out any of his videos, you'll see that he does a lot of shooting drills, a lot of just, amazing shots. So he may shoot. One time he was shooting hoops from a turbine. So it was some turbine shooting. It was a basket hooked up and he shot it and made it. That was crazy. He was shooting on a rim that was lined up with spikes, as well as he even was shooting gummy bears. So imagine little small gummy bears being shot into a water bottle from like 30 feet, right? Now, what I really, really like about him is that I like that he may miss it. And then you know what? He always says this one thing, I understand. And once he says, I understand, he goes ahead and he makes the shot. And I really, really like that. And that's what I wanted to bring to you, is that a lot of times we can take a moment. And what I challenge you with is learning from your mistakes, learning from miscues, missteps, and just simply say, I understand now. And then once you do that, let's go ahead and move forward with a new perspective. We're refocused, we're re-energized, and we have a solid game plan. Okay. All right. And so I really like check him out. I'll make sure I tag him and probably cut this up and tag him, but he shoots from anywhere, man. And it's really, really amazing to see. All right. So your See.Plan.Do moment of the week, entitled, I understand it now. All right. So let's get to, because, in my show, hey, if I'm rolling solo dolo, we're only going probably half an hour. I mean, I could take it longer, but guess what? We're just going to rock and roll here. So let's get to our song of the week. Now, of course, I can't post it on YouTube. They probably try to shut us down. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and make sure, as I always do, make a post. I'll tag it in our comment section below, so that way you can see, you can vibe out to the intro song. You can also vibe out to the Greenlight Entertainment song of the week. And hey, it's always wedding season. It's always birthday season, celebration season, party season. So if you're looking for a quality DJ company, get with the best. All right. So right after another word from our sponsors, we'll get right to our appetizer.
Having a wedding, birthday party, or other social or corporate event, contact Greenlight Entertainment today. With our experienced DJs, quality sound, and professional service, we look to make your event the event. Check us out on the web at www.greenlightentertain.com. With Greenlight Entertainment, you have the green light.
You 100% have the green light. All right. So make sure you check them out. All right. So here's our appetizer. Yeah. And so I wanted to go over a couple of things. When I think about a couple, I said, you know what? Some people probably been asking me again, where the hell have you been? And again, life happens and you sort of take a moment to step back and you go from there. And even as I'm getting back used to this, I'm like, wow, just going through the steps and the process and writing out my agenda. setting up the camera, setting up the mic, and even figuring out what to wear. And you can check out this shirt. This shirt says, "Good things take time," and they do. All right. So, I really am in real time am just enjoying the moment of how this goes. All right. So let's talk about some appetizers. So the first thing is final reaction. Final reaction to uh final reaction to the Jake Paul fight. The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. All right. Let me give you my final thoughts of it. I'm pretty sure you guys have checked it out. First thing is, I don't ever want to see, ever again, I don't want to see anybody 50 to 60 out of their prime trying to sign up for stuff like this. I'm over it. All right. I'm over it. I'm done. Let's not do it again. All right. Because guess what? I ain't gonna lie, I feel like we were duped in because we saw Mike Tyson, we saw him practicing with his trainer, hitting the bag, and everybody was getting excited. And next thing you know, he comes out, and to me, it looked like it was a money grab. And I felt disappointed because I really wanted to see really Mike Tyson just handle his business and knock him out, but it felt like it was a money grab. What can we do? All right. Clearly, it's a money grab. They made millions. Both of them made millions. We look crazy. And then we saw Mike Tyson with his ass out. I don't ever want to see those things again. All right. So let's not do that again. I don't want to see any of those things. I don't want to see any out of prime athlete doing something like that. Now, I do remember, and some of you guys may remember Joes versus Pros, where they had some people that still could do it. And what would happen is you had the Joes who were talking trash to people that they said that they could really take on real athletes. And then the pros, which were athletes, and then you know what would happen? They would compete against them. And every freaking time that I watched it, they blew their behinds up. Right. So like if it was one episode where they had a running back and a regular schmegular guy, he had to stop him from scoring a touchdown. Nah, man, he blew him straight to hell. He blew him up, laid him out. That's what I like to see. Don't get me in there with a 58. Now, don't get me wrong. Mike Tyson is extremely dangerous. So nobody's even going to say anything to him about us having his ass out. Right. No one's going to say, "Hey, Mike, why you got?" No, because then you could be a victim. Right. So I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see I don't want to see any person past their prime trying to come back for these things. But you know what? I don't know what Mike's money is. I mean, $20 million for 16 minutes. I mean, I would do it, but I just don't want to see any of that stuff again. Can we just not? But I guess we're going to keep seeing it. I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see any of it, and some people say, well, that may diminish Mike's, his reputation. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. Definitely not. Mike Tyson still is dangerous. And I felt duped. That's what I feel. I felt duped, y'all. Because I remember my father, Gary O'Neill Sr., ordering this fight, which was $60 to $70. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, $60, $70, like $200, $500 right now. And I remember him ordering these fights, and we would see Mike Tyson destroy somebody. You didn't even need to go, don't even go to the bathroom. And so it's crazy to see, I don't want to see it. All right. Shout out to Ash. She says most definitely about the money because Mike could have whooped him in 2 to 7 minutes. Absolutely. Could have just completely destroyed him, knocked his head off. But you know what? They made money. Everybody made money. It was a money grab and everybody made millions. It does make me feel, it does remind me of where have I seen us feeling duped and the rich make out? I'll let you guys figure that out. But I don't want to see it again like that. I mean, you clearly we see that it wasn't that Mike couldn't just destroy this man. It was a dupe. We got duped. All right. All that training, all that stuff that we saw, it didn't matter. All right. So that's it. That's my final reaction. That I'm not talking about it no more. All right. The next thing is my Ravens. Now, if you are new to this show, I'm from Baltimore. Maybe I'll run it back with the episode. I'm from Baltimore. I am from Baltimore, Maryland, born and raised, did not live anywhere else. I am a Ravens fan. I'm not a Baltimore Steelers fan, whatever that crap is, where you're from here, but you like the Steelers. I don't care. If your family didn't play, if your dad or brother or cousin did not play for the Steelers and you didn't live there and you lived here, I ain't trying to hear it. So nobody's trying to hear all that. So my Ravens this weekend lost by 2 and almost crashed out. Now, I'm not going to lie. Let me take these glasses off because now I'm triggered again. I'm triggered again and thinking about how I almost crashed out because I like to bet on some of these sport games. Yeah. I mean, do you see this background, right? Like I got to pay for this stuff, you know? So I just remember just betting on the game saying, okay, Lamar's going to score 2 touchdowns. You know, things are going to happen. Guys, if I would have hit that parlay, I would have been I would have done the show live from Jamaica. But no, my Ravens lose by 2. My reaction to is that I just feel that, you know, outside of me almost crashing out, I just feel like when it's time to play the Steelers, we get so caught up in the emotion that it's a rivalry that we abandon what the hell we're supposed to be doing. And so I just hate it. You know, I just want them to play as we've been playing, you know, running it down people's throats. And I just am just tired, sick of just seeing us abandon the run. And we should have just stayed with what works, stay with it, stop getting overly emotional because of the game. Because I ain't gonna lie, you know, we see players, I'm not going to name the players, but we see people get overly emotional and then they start doing other things, and we need to stop that. So let's stick to the rivers and lakes that we used to, and we go from there. All right. Now, I said, you know what, one of the things I'm going to do if we go live is to do dealer's choice where you guys can bring up the topics, right? I saw some of the topics earlier when I asked people to text me some of their topics. Somebody said, Trump, guess what? This ain't a political show. I mean, I'm always going to talk. You can always go back and check out some of the episodes where I talk about politics, but this isn't a political-based show. I'm just going to say the man won fair and square. That is a democracy. I may not like him. You may not like him. You may not have liked her. You know, whatever it is. Hey, it seemed like it went hopefully according to plan. I mean, not according to plan. Hopefully that it wasn't any cheating or anything like that. And if it is, they need to find out. But guess what? I'm good. I honestly am I hope that, you know, the things that we're afraid of don't happen. I don't want to see any type of, you know, cuts that happen to budgets that really affect people that really need it. So hopefully that doesn't happen. You know, let's just see what's going on, you know, but that's all I really have to say about politics. You know, this isn't a dating podcast, so you're not going to hear me talk about 50-50, where you should go. Now, I may highlight where you should go on dates. That's cool. I'll bring on some people. You'll see some guests that talk about things like that, but this is not a dating show, so we're not going to be talking about 50-50. We're not going to be talking about cheesecake factories. We're not going to be talking about who should be doing what. We're not doing that, which is why one of the reasons why I came back, because I said, man, I can't do it. I hate seeing all these shows and people are traveling with these shows and asking redundant questions. Like, date who you want to date, align with your parameters of what you want and what you don't want, and then just go from there. Like who you like, make it work. That's it. Cool. All right. What else did I see that people were texting me about? That was really it. You know, we talked about football. We talked about my final reaction to the Tyson fight. I mean, I stayed up, and this is where I can tell I'm getting older for real, because I was on Facebook doing a play-by-play, and I ain't gonna lie, I fell asleep. I fell asleep, y'all. Like, that's crazy to me. I was watching it. I was in my bed. I had snacks. And next thing you know, I woke up and it was like over. I was like, I had to go back and wake up. I had to go back and watch it. I said, oh man. So, that's what I'm big unk now, I guess. I do sort of laugh at that now. So that's my take. As we do more live, well, if you ever have any topics that you want me to talk about, just let me know. All right, moving on to we talked about an appetizer here, season. We're still in season 6. Like I didn't start a new season. I just honestly just let me put it up here for you guys. I just took a break. And I'm glad that I'm back. I actually missed doing this. I missed researching it. I missed taking a moment to think about it. And I'd already thought about 5 to 10 episodes. So I'm looking forward to 100% just being able to do this again. I think I'm going to look to get into some other spaces, some sit down with people. I already reached out to some of my friends. We're going to have fun this season as we do with all the seasons. Okay. All right. So let's get to our appetizer because guess what? It's late. Some of y'all probably didn't already wash clothes and got things folded and probably are eating, hopefully wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you're listening to this, you're checking it out. Yeah. So let's get to our entree. All right. So the entree, remember, episode 138, peaks and valleys. So for definition, peaks and valleys is just going to be, hey, a peak is at the top, ups and downs, peaks and I like to call it peaks and valleys. The reason why I called this episode peaks and valleys is that even during my break, when I was going through great times or going through tough times, and somebody say, hey, Gary, how you doing? You know what I would say? Peaks and valleys. Because it would remind me that there are some great highs and sometimes there are some lows. And so if I can remind myself that, even during the tough times, like it was some tough times when the last couple of months, and I just kept saying peaks and valleys because things will work out. I just believe that, and I hope that, and I believe that for you. All right. So how can we deal with the ups and downs of life? All right. I done put together 4 of them. All right. So hopefully, if you've been a fan of the show, I already know you got your pen and paper, or you can just go back and listen to this anytime. All right. Number 1 is change your perspective. Change perspective. There are seasons for everything. All right. Weather, all the things that we see, there's times changing. We change. There are seasons for everything, right? Not just the weather. So as we have these seasons of change, acknowledge if you're going through a tough time, that you're going through a tough time. It's okay to acknowledge that you're going through a tough time. And as you go through this tough time, know that it will pass. If you want a little motivation, if you're watching this live, you can type in the comments, it will pass if you're going through a tough time. And then guess what? 3 months, 6 months from now, go back to this episode. You can say, wow, damn. I was going through a tough time, but it did pass. If you're watching this right now in glorious 1080p, right? Y'all see my new glasses? I got new glasses. I didn't pick up my new shirts for the show, but I'm looking forward to that. But you see this as good things take time. I really like this shirt. All right. But if you're watching this right now, if you're listening to this whenever, wherever, whatever variant you heard, I don't know if one of my variants doesn't have long, luxurious hair. Y'all see my hair. If you've been a fan of the show, let me take a damn time out. If you have been a day 181 listener, you see my hair right now. All right. You see it. Okay. You see it. I look back at one of the episodes when I had when I did the 1 chip challenge and my hair was like up here. You see it. What? I could have put my hair up for the show. Nah, I'm putting it down. You can see it. All right. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, whenever, wherever on your sacred timeline, whatever variant is checking this out, guess what? You are 1,000-0. You are undefeated against hard times. You are undefeated. You right now. If you're listening to this, you're watching this, you are undefeated. You're undefeated against any tough times, any setbacks, any things like that. Just to share personal stuff. I done had relationships and friendships and, jobs and, different things, starting things, stopping things. Things happen to people. And tough times are just that, tough times. So the first thing is just change your perspective. It'll pass. And just as long as you remember that, hey, you're having a tough time, you're going through a tough situation, that, hey, it's a tough time. I remember one of my last jobs because, I didn't I wound up resigning. I was going to use some personal leave, and I guess some policy says you can't do that. So I had a check that was 36 cents. Here I am, a father, I have a mortgage, I have car payments, I have all these different things. My check was 36 goddamn cents. And I've had a check that was 36 cents, and I had a check that was $10,000. Peaks and valleys. Yeah. So, go back and think about a time, maybe last year, 2 years, 6 months, last week. Think about a tough time that you've been through. And now look at you now. Look at you now. Some of the people that I'm seeing that's watching this right now, look at you now. Thriving, eating good, healthy, hair looking good, nails long or short, whatever you like. Hair bouncy, full of life. Look at you thriving right now. Look at you thriving. Look at you doing well. And 6 months ago, you didn't feel like that. A year ago. All right. Change your perspective. We understand that tough times will happen. All right. Number 2 is enjoy the ups. I just talked to one of my friends yesterday, and she said, yeah, my birthday's coming up. And I said, okay, that's great. What are you going to do for your birthday? Oh, nothing. And I'm not doing it. And I used to do that too. I used to be like, okay, I'm going to work for my birthday. I forgot that I was recording. I will not be working on my birthday, and I will celebrate my birthday. Now, whether it's my birthday or, I'm going to celebrate for my birthday. All right. I when she said it, I just was like, man, celebrate the ups, celebrate your wins. All right. Celebrate the wins. Basketball season has 82 games. Baseball has 100 and plus games, right? The football season has 16 games, maybe more. And guess what? Everybody's celebrating every win. Why not you? If you woke up this morning, celebrate that. I'll even give you one right now. I resigned from a job last week. Now, of course, your favorite entrepreneur, consultant, life coach, business coach, etc. I'm always going to have more than one job, more than one thing to make money, but I resigned from a job. That's a win for me. I did not want to be there. I realized that I did not want to be there. It wasn't working out, and I resigned. And I'm thankful that I was able to resign. Some people are not in that position yet to do that, but I was, and I damn sure gave them a resignation. I didn't even give them 2 weeks. I was like, you know what? I gave them 2 weeks, and then they was like, they sort of was weird about the time. And I said, oh, well, I could be done tomorrow. Celebrate your wins. Too many times we emphasize the downs. We emphasize the loss. The Ravens lost this weekend. Okay. But they're still atop. They're still still have a winning season. Too many times we want to zoom in and focus on the bad things. And then we diminish and devalue the wins. All right. Enjoy the win. So if you have a win and you're watching this live, type in one of your wins or type in one of the wins that you expect to happen shortly to you. All right. So number 1 was change that perspective. Number 2 was enjoy the ups. Up, 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 up. Number 3 is practice gratitude. I did an episode called Attitude of Gratitude. You can check it out. I'll make sure I tag some of these things if you watch it on YouTube. But practice gratitude. All right. With the peaks and valleys of life. With those peaks, with those valleys, that come with life, we get to really see what's important to us. Family is important to me, right? Being free is important to me. And so as we go through those peaks and valleys of life, you really do get to see what's important. And so when we have those peaks and valleys, they offer us an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to develop into the person that you want to be. All right. I think about, since we're talking about Mike Tyson, right? And I really realized, like, I have not been in front of this light for a long time. So having this light, even though I love it, I realized, man, maybe it's me. I don't know. I feel like I'm hot. But guess what? I think about the Mike Tyson video game. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna give you something I don't think I've ever told anybody. I've never beaten that game. Right? I feel like, you know what? I saw on TikTok that you could buy like those old school video game things and you can plug it into your TV. I'm gonna go ahead and get it. Playing that game was great, but it was a tough game to beat. You couldn't just start playing it and that's it. Most people had the cheat code and did it, But when you think about that game, it helped you learn. It helped you learn about patience. Here I am, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old, learning about patience, getting knocked out, right? But when I think about it, I was grateful for that game. And even though I never finished it, I was appreciative that was a really good game. It was tough to beat, But when you think about things that you're going through, take a moment and be thankful of what's happening. Even though it might be tough to do. It might be tough to be thankful about what's happening, right? But you're able to be thankful about the opportunities that come with the peaks and that come with the valleys. All right. So practice gratitude. What I like to do, and other people have done this as well, you can send 3 text messages to people that you really are appreciative of. You can write down 3 things that you're thankful for. You can make a journal of it. You can just put it out there. And I'm thankful for growth. I'm thankful for having a sound mind and being able to, for the most part right now, to do what I want to do. Some people don't get the opportunity. A lot of things that you have that you're doing, some people probably they don't even have that. So practice gratitude, have that attitude of gratitude. And if you're not in a good space, if you start being appreciative and grateful, I promise you'll start seeing how things grow. Okay. And number 4. So remember, number 1 was change your perspective. Number 2 was enjoy the ups. Number 3 was practice gratitude. And number 4, learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. And so with learning the lesson, it's really, when I think about the lesson of life, when I think about the lessons I've learned in those valleys as well as those peaks, it's not really about why something is happening. It's about what can I learn from it? What is the lesson that I'm being given here? All right. Because ultimately we may not know the why, right? Why did this happen to me? You could just learn from it. All right. And then taking the time to learn from both the peaks and the valleys, because you can learn a lot of things from the peaks. What are you excited about? What are you happy about? And in those valleys, what really is pissing you off? What really makes you feel down? Yeah. But if you're learning from both the peaks and the valleys and you're learning those lessons, they both offer time of transition. 3 months, 6 months, even a year from now, things could totally can be totally different. 3 months, 6 months, or a year from now, things can be completely different to you. And then guess what? You may go back. So let's say you're going through a tough time. Let's say you're going through a valley right now. 3 months from now, you're going to look back and say, oh, I can connect the dots. Oh, I see what happened here. If I did, because I went through this gave me this. Me going through a job that I, for the most part, did not want to do and was frustrated by the job made me say, and this is me being transparent, You have a lot of confidence in yourself, but now it's time to take it to the next level. You invested in this wonderful backdrop. I mean, not a backdrop. This is actual painting. I had an artist come through. Shout out to Mermaid Queen. She put this together. And invest in yourself. Bet on yourself. That's something I've taken from the last couple of months. Focus on yourself, bet on yourself, invest in yourself, and jump your ass out there. All right. So again, those peaks and valleys offer opportunities for transition. All right. And you might be able to connect those dots and see the meaning from it. There is a lesson in everything, even if it's just saying you just got to deal with it. You just have to deal with it. All right. So as I wrap this up, let me give it to you one more time. One, change your perspective. All right. There are seasons for everything. Two, enjoy the ups. Don't just minimize it. If it's your birthday, make some noise. Go out, go on vacation. I'm going on vacation to celebrate my birthday every freaking year. I'm going on vacation. I will not be here, or I will do something to celebrate me. Celebrate those ups. 3, practice gratitude. What are you thankful for? We're going into a season of thankfulness. We're going to be around family and friends, food. What are you thankful for? I'm thankful for you. And number 4, learn the lesson. Now, I will say that with the lesson, if we don't learn the lesson, it'll be repeated. All right. Guess what, guys? I'm back. And that is the end of this episode. Hopefully you guys had an amazing time with this live episode. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I see everybody that tuned in. Thank you for my day one A1s, my family, my friends, people that saw me posting. Thank you for checking out this episode. All right. Thank you for taking time out of your day, your evening, your night, whenever you see this, whenever you hear from this, whenever you're watching or hearing this. Thank you. You can catch each and every new episode Tuesday. All right. I'm dropping them Tuesday. You can also check them out on wherever you stream, wherever you're listening to your podcasts, wherever you listen to your DSPs, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Hopefully I become a part of your new favorite podcast family. You can also watch this on YouTube. And as you're watching this on YouTube, of course, like, share, and subscribe. All right. And I just wanted to leave it with this. Things may not be, if you're watching this right now, it may not be, you may be going through a valley. And that's okay. You may be going through a valley, or you may be at a peak, and shout out to you. All right. And as I've said 100 times and 100 times over, you are the best part of the show. And if you're going through a tough time, know that it won't last. And if you're going through an amazing time, appreciate it, be thankful for it, learn from it, and go from there. All right. But you are the best part of the show. So until we see each other again, because we'll see each other again, right? Until we talk and we share those special moments, until we talk again, and we share those special moments again, guys, always remember, see what you want to do, plan that thing out, and above else, just do it. This world is designed for you to do it. So prove yourself, prove everyone else that you're at the top of the mountain, you're at the peak. And whether you're at the peak or in the valley, just do it. All right. Here's to the peaks as well as the valleys. All right, guys. Same bat time, same bat channel. See ya.